What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for some more Detective Grimoire. We are still in Chapter 3, but I think this will be our last jaunt within Chapter 3 before we head into Chapter 4.
So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think that would work.
I have no interest in something like that. Obviously.
Well, I didn't think you'd have an interest in the hunting photo, but...
You're wasting your precious time, Detective.
Well, I'm gonna present all the clues, cover all the bases.
I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again. Actually, this is a classic example of a cryptid photograph.
What's a cryptid?
A creature unknown to science. Look at the slight blurring in this photo, the murky exposure. It's perfect.
It's perfect because it can't really be used as evidence?
Now you're catching on.
Okay.
I have no interest in something like that. Obviously.
Again, I'm just covering all my bases.
You're wasting your precious time, Detective. You're wasting your precious time, Detective.
Indeed I am. I shall take my business elsewhere. Thank you.
Hunting memorabilia. Claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing. These animals. They're not... I don't recognize any of them. These animals. I don't recognize any of them. These animals. I don't recognize any of them.
Well, I'm at a loss here, Detective, so I'm clicking on everything.
No way. No way. Is this a werewolf?
Still missing some clues and notes. Lady Weybridge, what are your secrets?
Why don't you show that to someone else?
Well, I figured you might find that interesting considering your storeroom was broken into.
He's dead, but he always knew what he was getting involved with.
You won't be getting very far discussing that with me. Try someone less important.
That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
Yes, that's my photograph, taken near the woods at the north end of Boggy's Bog. Have you tried looking there? Vincent's work, I see. I'm glad he knows how to use the camera at least.
What do you think all those noises are?
Well, judging by the time this was recorded, I'd be able to make a pretty good guess.
I don't know if it's any use to you at all. I'll film again tonight and try to get a version without all those bizarre noises in the background. He's a talented man, that Burl. Sometimes I wonder if he'd be better off pursuing his photography full-time, you know.
Oh?
There's a whole load of needles and wool on that shelf. Or should I say yarn? I just don't know anymore. The tree comes straight. It even okay, even I'll admit, that's a little blanket on a little bed in a little house. It makes very little sense. I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
Okay, so you stole it from him before he left the swamp. I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind. You took it from the journal while it was on display at the museum. Oh my gosh, I feel so dumb. All this I do this to myself in these types of games all the time, where I get blinders put on me and I'm trying to find all this other stuff, when really all I needed to do is just, apparently my memory could not retain information that I had passed the first 2 challenge questions, and it was this one that I was having a hard time on. Oh my gosh. So I think this is what we picked the first time. You took it from the journal while it was on the display in the museum. And it was not that. You stole it from him before he left the swamp. I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind. Let's try this, and if we fail again, then we'll just go through it again and we'll do this.
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs here, with me. You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then, I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back.
Okay, I feel like we're making progress again. I'm so sorry, everyone. Please feel free to roast me and yell at me in the comments so that I can never forget this awful feeling I have about myself. Do I get to flip it? Ooh, I do.
What's this?
It's Boggy's feet.
Footprints.
Okay, the lost page ripped out of the explorer's journal, given to Weybridge by the explorer 60 years ago, features a drawing of Lady Weybridge at 20 years old. Also features drawings of Boggy's feet and footprint. He has 2 toes at the front and 1 at the back. This page proves the footprints found outside the office were not made by the real Boggy. Well, I didn't think they were. Okay, maybe if I give this to Agent Folder, we'll be able to progress some more.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
Oh, okay. I'm hoping things go a lot more smoothly this time than they did in Chapter 3, because, oh my gosh, I was missing some of the most obvious things ever. And I am guilty of that all the time when it comes to these point-and-click type games. It doesn't mean I love them any less. They are my favorite genre of game by far. But you would think after all the years and hours and games that I've played, I would be able to retain a little more common sense. Ah! Okay. Let's hop into it. Okay, so we finally did Lady Weybridge's challenge. And Detective Grimoire said, hey, it's time to go talk to Officer James, so... And has this speech bubble thing been there the whole time, kind of directing me? I don't know. I'm gonna probably go back through this in editing and just slap myself in the face. So let's go back to the swamp dock and talk to Officer James. He's got a full mug.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
What swamp creature? I forgot all about him. I didn't find him.
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
What's your story, officer? This case can't be solved. I'll keep looking for him. I don't need to. I mean, I'm still not done here.
I'll
Oh.
keep looking for him.
Oh, you're gonna tell me that was the wrong thing to do? Well, hold on. Hold your horses. I wanna try presenting him with this picture in the journal.
Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
Well, that yielded a lot less information than I was hoping for, so all right. All right, Officer James.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
What swamp creature? I forgot all about him. I didn't find him.
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to. This case can't be solved. I'll keep looking for him. Well, I think the case can be solved. I just don't think we have all the pieces yet. I don't need to.
I don't need to.
That was the shortest chapter ever. There's a back button. Am I supposed to go talk to more characters? Let's do that. Let's present the swamp missing journal page. Blah.
What? Is that one of your clues?
Fine. Who else would be? Echo might be. Because we haven't found the torso. Yeah, see, these are not...
There are bizarre and back to...
They're not the same footprints, so... Yeah, obviously this is not the real boggy creature. Excuse me, sir. Would you like to see a missing journal page?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Who else can I talk to about it, though? Maybe Harper.
Why don't you show that to someone else?
I was told
What?
Remington left the cafe.
I already did your challenge. I didn't mean to click that. Let's take a walk. Where's that little girl? I still haven't gotten into this tree.
It's a humble gift.
You sell flashlights? Or matches? Or a lighter? That's lame.
There's a little locked door on the side of the ship here. I think it's part of the cafe. A shipwreck? And what? Grass.
He drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes.
Are you going to tell me?
No.
Oh, excuse me. I mean, the museum doesn't know either, so... Psh. We're at 99% completion, but I still don't feel like I'm ready to back out into chapter 5 and solve it. I'm just... Maybe I can find that little girl again. I need... What's in the tree?
A lot of fog and a lot of trees.
Ah,
All right. Let's head into the final chapter. I just want to do a good job.
why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Buggy from last night? Let me see that photo.
You're acting awfully suspicious, officer.
If that's not Buggy, what is it?
It is costume.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature? What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
Fire poker.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Buggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
Is it the bog juice? Or swamp juice?
This stuff has an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure everyone in the swamp would be poisoned, to make sure no one would eat at the cafe ever again, to make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
Okay, I thought we were in the final chapter, but now I guess we're in the final chapter. I'm so confused, you guys.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work out.
Video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right. Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Okay, luckily for me though, I found my notebook where I had written it down from the first time that I went through it. So let's see if I can put it in order. Okay. So I can, looks like, okay. So this is the order that everything happened in. So my notebook is no longer of any use. So rips the curtains is that one. Okay, he cries out in shock. He falls
I
backwards.
think that's it.
All right. I guess we're moving on.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
It was stuffed in a boggy head.
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Hello, I am the murderer. Oh, I'm feeling very nervous again. Okay, let's put his costume on. We're missing the torso. What's under your blanket, officer?
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around, not like the others.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material, something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume?
I don't know. I don't know where it could be. Treehouse?
Where is that last piece of the costume?
Okay, let's go over this. Let's put on our thinking caps here. We found the flippers outside of the office. We found the hands at the museum. And we found the head and the leggings at the gift shop. Protest or cafe?
Where is that last piece of the costume?
I don't know, man. Is it right here under your blanket?
Where is that last piece of the costume?
I feel bad because I feel like I'm doing a bad job. Did I miss something?
How? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
The poncho!
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret.
Oh my gosh. Forgot to tell me that, can't be proof that, leads me to believe, was framed because something was stolen by Boggy, was eaten by Boggy, was Boggy in disguise, was here to hunt Boggy. Let's try it. Echo was Boggy in disguise. Because he's our cosplay fanboy. No. Alright, the hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The final chapter. I wish there was different title cards like this because I mean, are there multiple endings? Can I get by with only 94% of my clues and 88% of my notes?
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
I just threw my hands way up in the air. Like, there's all this information just being thrown at me at once. It's a little overwhelming. Like, the pacing throughout the game, and a lot of it was my fault for being frustrated and not doing things, like, right away. But all this stuff just being thrown at me is very overwhelming, and I don't know what to think right now. But he's not a killer. You didn't have the right. How can you know what Boggy wanted?
How can you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective.
It's
finished. But don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
What is happening? You're right, it doesn't make any difference. It makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down.
Hey, wait!
Whoa. Oh my gosh. That really got me.
Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery.
Who
tonight.
are you? Did I do it? Oh my gosh, that was very stressful. I had lots of fun though. And I can see with all the different dialogue branches, this game does have quite a bit of replayability. I thought it was like, I don't know, like a bobcat. You know those famous swamp bobcats hiding in trees.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
Are you my intern now, little girl? What? Huh? I'm feeling a little empty and confused. I'm definitely going to be looking for more Detective Grimoire games because it sounds like this is part of a series. I'm just staring at my screen, speechless. This was a crazy experience. I don't even know what to say. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I only got out with, you know, not all of my clues, not all of my notes to like get a full, complete story. But I think what I'm going to do is put this one away for a while and then take it back out on my own time and play it again all the way through, just focused on it and not having to worry about recording anything, and see how my experience changes. Thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you next time for whatever game I'm going to play next. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye for now.